Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now today, a bit of a casual conversation we're going to have. I've been asked a question by a viewer and I'm just going to answer it. I'm just going to throw my views out there and see what you think. I mean, this is not sort of heavily structured. This is just going to be me offering my thoughts. So, the question I have here comes from Chuck and it relates to backsliding in one's style, all right? Because we're all on a style journey and it's not consistent, is it? We do have peaks and troughs when it comes to the way that we look. So Chuck has asked me this question. He tells me a bit of a backstory. I began watching your videos as part of my efforts to begin dressing better and elevating my style. Good for you, sir. I've entered my 60s and decided it was finally time to start dressing like an adult. I've been buying more mature and stylish clothing and I sincerely enjoy wearing them. However, I find myself recently reverting back to my own ways. I work from home and on many days the only time I leave my home is to walk our dog in the park. Now, living on the west coast of Canada, not far from Vancouver, it is very wet and rainy at most of the year. I've been to Vancouver. When I went there it was really lovely, but I know it does fluctuate there quite a lot in the weather states. Because the ground in the park is muddy when I'm walking my dog, I don't particularly want to wear nice clothing. Certainly don't want to wear high quality footwear when taking the dog out. And it seems a bother to dress up, especially for the occasional foray to the grocery store or whatever. More often than not, I find myself falling back into my old habits and just pulling on jeans and a t-shirt when I dress in the morning. I hope this is temporary, and as the weather improves in the spring, I will resume my sartorial journey. And the question is, have you ever experienced a period of backsliding in your sartorial journey? So what Chuck has asked there is a really relevant question. And yes, of course, I have experienced and continually experience backsliding, because in this fast-paced modern world, we're all maybe in a tug of war between how we would love to dress. We have a stylized view of ourselves. Often in my mind I have a picture of Cary Grant in my mind, all right? That's how I'd love to walk around the place, portraying, emanating from every pore that effortless style which seemed to be present in these iconic figures of sartorial style. But of course, in real life, my life is not that linear. I have the challenges. I walk up here to make these videos. I am not sat here in fancy clothing at this time of year. It is rather damp. It is rather cold. I'm wearing Wellington boots with my chino trousers here. I have to make compromises all of the time. And I find myself in this constant battle between comfort, functionality and style. It's a three-way sort of triangle of the way that I'm dressing myself on a daily basis, and it can be challenging to hit that middle ground that makes me feel happy yet is functionally capable for the world around me. And I often I hate this thing because the channel has been around for quite a few years now and we've got quite a few tens of thousands of subscribers, and I always walk around when I'm going somewhere. Maybe I went to I'll give you an example. I went to Bicester Village, which is a well-known shopping outlet village in the centre of England here in the end of the summer 2023. As I was driving, I had a huge long journey. I was driving like 4 hours, so I dressed comfortably for a summer drive. I was wearing a shirt untucked, sort of sloppy chino trousers, comfortable shoes. I know I was spending the day in the car, so I wasn't getting dressed up. But I broke my journey in Bicester Village to, use the toilet, walk around, get something to eat. And whilst I was walking around, I felt a tap on the shoulder. It was a gentleman who introduced himself as a gentleman from Australia who was visiting the UK, but he was somebody who'd viewed the channel. And he recognised me. And immediately I felt highly conscious that he was seeing me not in the manner which I would like to portray myself to somebody who maybe watches these videos and makes maybe an assumption that I'm an intentionally well-dressed man all of the time. Not at all. I dress for the situation. I apologise that he didn't see me at my best, but neither was he. He was, in a relaxing state as well. So we actually took a photo and, it was nice to meet somebody who saw the channel, but he didn't see me in my sartorial best. That's the way of life though, isn't it? We're always battling functionality against style, against comfort as well. So I've got a couple of observations, maybe a couple of areas here where I'm not going to say we're not going to backslide. It's part of normal daily life, but these are some of the ways perhaps you can feel more comfortable with your way of dressing. Okay, my first tip for you is really to embrace the modern casual aesthetic, all right? You will be a very hidebound individual if your thought of being well dressed only complies with a man wearing maybe a blazer, a shirt, a tie, and a pair of grey flannel slacks. You have to divorce yourself from the concept that is intentionally well dressed. That is a specific outfit of clothing which is probably worn for a specific reason. We can't all dress like that all of the time. It's not backsliding to dress for the situation that you find yourself in. Being well dressed does not mean conforming to this hyper formal mindset. Not at all. You can, of course, wear those classically elegant clothing, timelessly elegant, if the situation dictates. But also you can embrace modern casual style, yet put your own slant upon it. And by that, I mean, things like highly versatile clothing, like chinos, for instance. Chinos are both casual, but also they can easily tip over into maybe a little more timelessly elegant. The same can be said for jeans. Now, a lot of people who subscribe to the classic sartorial path, they will poo-poo jeans entirely. I got to be honest, I don't wear jeans. I come to a point in life where I tend to prefer chinos, right? So they're my casual trouser. But I'm not going to say don't wear jeans. The right pair of jeans can be very stylish as long as they are the right pair of jeans. By that, I mean, like most guys, they will walk down to their bargain basement clothing store. They will buy a pair of jeans for £20. They'll be shapeless. They will have a poor colour to them. They're not going to look good. All right. What you can do is, by embracing modern casual aesthetic style, buy your jeans with consideration, with intentionally well-dressed opinions. Get them in a nice indigo colour. Get them so that they fit you well. And if they don't fit you well, have them tailored to fit you well. All of these little aesthetic changes, classic things. And when you're dressing for elegance rather than, just comfort, quality over quantity, all right? Instead of having numerous pairs of jeans, which are very inexpensive, spend your money, if you're limited in your finances, and buy one pair of really good pair of jeans that are going to fit you well and they're going to last you for longer. Quality over quantity. In my experience, if you invest your money in a quality item, it is money well spent. Buy once, buy less often. Buy cheap things, you're going to have to keep buying them over and over again as they wear out quickly and they don't look good at all. That was my first tip for you. My second tip for you is, think of the way you dress as more of a volume knob, right, on your stereo system. All right, I've used this analogy in the past. Think of the way of your wardrobe as the sort of music which is coming when you turn the knob, and the knob has got different settings on it. So shall I say the lower setting is your most casual, comfortable clothing. It can be, your jogging outfit or your jeans or whatever, or your t-shirt. Classically elegant, yes, we've decided we're not buying cheap crap anymore. We're buying quality over quantity, but even so, they are still very casual. At the middle setting, we might have a halfway house. We might have a tweed jacket. We might have, a Harrington jacket. We might have chinos. We might have a dress shirt. We might have a nice sweater or cardigan. But these are our middle way. They're not very smart, but they're certainly not casual. Middle ground. And then at the fullest extent of the volume knob, we've turned it all the way up. We're then looking at a suit, perhaps, or a blazer with a collared shirt and a tie, or grey flannel slacks. But let us not forget that there are not just three settings. We can blur them in between, all right? When we turn it to that between the middle and the bottom setting, we can start putting things into our outfit, like desert boots instead of training shoes. We can put on chinos instead of jeans. We are blurring the lines, and that volume can go up and down depending on the situation of your life. So think of, not backsliding, not going back to the past, but if you're not comfortable being super casual, just turn that knob in between the two settings. Blur them a little bit, and you will be perhaps more comfortable and certainly more stylish in your approach to dressing in that way. Now, my third tip for you is think of it more as smart casual dressing rather than comfort dressing. Because smart casual, if you get that mindset, if you're thinking about, you're smartening up your casual outfit, it puts you into a middle ground straight away. This is how I exist pretty much all of the time when I'm not dressing for a specific occasion where smart clothing is required from me. And, basically what I'm doing is elevating my casual look by adding certain things to the look, signature pieces, which boosts the whole ensemble of clothing. I might be using a sweater or a cardigan instead of a sweatshirt or a hoodie, because the addition of a simple item like that really boosts your look entirely. Actually, more practical, works better as well, but that's besides the point. Most of the time when I'm at home, I wear a shawl-collared cardigan, particularly in the winter months, right, when it's cold. I wear something which is smart and elegant. And if I have to have a quick Zoom call, I look particularly smart compared to the other guys I see there who are wearing sweatshirts, t-shirts, hoodies at home. I just look a little bit more elegant by the addition of one single item, which actually is really smart. The other thing you can do, statement accessories boost the look, and these can be all sorts of things. As I say, it can be a leather belt to an outfit if you're wearing a pair of jeans instead of something less smart. It can be the addition of a wristwatch to your outfit. I've always got a wristwatch on, doesn't matter what watch it is, but I'm always wearing a wristwatch because I just like, it's the only pseudo piece of jewellery which I have. But if you don't like a wristwatch, you could wear a bracelet, a bangle, whatever your culture and style dictates is acceptable for you. But these little pieces, it could be, if you're wearing, like I do, a shawl-collared cardigan, a cravat, something at the neck, which just really lifts the outfit. And it's the addition of nothing at all, really, is it? It's just a small piece of material, but it really boosts it up. So these subtle yet stylish little additions can elevate your outfit into what I would call smart casual, rather than entirely casual. Look at the way I'm dressed now. I'm wearing a nylon bomber jacket, which I bought from the Gap maybe 10 years ago. But because I'm wearing a scarf, I've stylized it. I've elevated its appearance just by the addition of a simple, inexpensive, entirely casual item. Really lifts the outfit. Now, my fourth tip for you, and there's only one more after this, don't worry, I'm rabbiting on, it is that footwear really matters when it comes to the way you portray yourself to the world. In my opinion, there is no single item in your wardrobe that can lift the look of your outfit more than a good pair of shoes. And think about the shoes across the spectrum of your clothing. What can make even a casual outfit look better? It can be things like oxblood or burgundy coloured brogues. A wingtip brogue is in itself essentially quite casual, even though it can be worn much more formally if you're wearing, grey flannel slacks or chinos, but it can also be worn with a pair of jeans. You can wear a desert boot, which is really what I would describe as quite a casual item of footwear, but again, it can be worn with jeans, can be worn with chinos, and it lifts the look, because if everybody else is wearing training shoes or sneakers, a desert boot really propels you into a different category. Same goes for a chukka boot, maybe a leather chukka boot. It's along the same lines of a desert boot, but a little smarter, obviously. But I think, a nice brown-coloured chukka boot can lift the look of one's outfit straight away. And certainly, things like that. Or even if you are a sneaker guy and you're not prepared to venture away from that, a nice plain white sneaker definitely looks good in the summer months. Or even these new hybrid shoes, which are becoming more popular, which is basically a sneaker sole with a sort of formalised upper, which can often look like a wingtip brogue. I don't love them myself, but I understand they're very comfortable, and they are a halfway house between a very comfortable shoe and a slightly more formal shoe. And if it works for you, I would say go for it. Now, these can effortlessly transition between very casual, if you're wearing jeans, to somewhat more formal if you're wearing chinos, even grey flannel slacks. So they're a good addition to your outfit, valuable in your wardrobe because they are very flexible and versatile, and you don't feel like you're backsliding then because you've always got a shoe which is right for the occasion that you find yourself in. And my final tip for you is a boring one, which I say over and over again, and it is tailoring matters, all right? Even in casual situations, if you're wearing jeans, if you're wearing chinos, if you're wearing, a jacket of some kind, Harrington jacket, whatever. These are inherently casual items. However, if they don't fit you, they're not going to look good. It's worth a trip to the tailor. All right, get yourself a nice pet tailor in the town or city that you live that you can go to, who can make alterations for you, get the trousers taken up to the right length, get the sleeves on your jackets to fit you correctly, make sure that the jeans fit you in the hips or around the backside. And that tailored fit, even though you're wearing traditionally quite casual clothing, because they fit you well, you're going to look so much more rounded and finished as a sartorial element as a person yourself. It adds a touch of refinement at a very modest cost. So even though you're casually attired, you are going to look well tailored, well fitted. So there we go. Those are my talk through today about backsliding. Even the most stylish of us have to live our lives in a real world, and walking around with a blazer and tie on all day long isn't going to fit anybody's lifestyle, unless you're very, very small percentage of people who that works for. For me, most of the time I'm casual and I turn up the volume when I need it. That's the way you want to look at it. So you're not backsliding, you're just turning the volume down for a bit until you need to turn it up again. I hope that has been some use for you, Chuck, and it helps you maintain your sartorial spirit going forward. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel, you can just leave me a comment. You can drop me an email. If you have a question for me, it's my pleasure to answer it. If you'd like to practically support the channel, you can buy me a coffee. It's just a one-off thing, a couple of pounds, or you can even become a patron. And I make additional videos for my patrons every week, and we've got an intimate dialogue going on my Patreon channel, which is becoming quite vibrant. So if you want to get in on that, you can find the links to it in the show notes below. So until the next time, take care. And it's not backsliding, it's just turning down the volume. And I will see you again very soon.